this screen. Okay. So I found the testimony from Stephen Davis quite eye-opening. I've had a number of meetings with businesses in my congressional district, the 2nd District of West Virginia, and throughout the state. And my office has worked on a lot of constituent cases. And every one of those meetings, not just one or two, but every one of the meetings we've had, the concern has been expressed that they're having a hard time getting folks to come back to work. It was said, Dr. Davis said in his statements, that 5 out of 6 people in this country can make more money not working with the $600 plus up per week federal supplement on unemployment than they can make working. And in some areas, it's even more than that, probably 9 out of 10 or so. And you mentioned it was common sense that people who can make more not working will take that path because they would like to make more money. And I think that's true, and mentioned jobs are available. So I guess the first question would be for Dr. Davis, should we, instead of giving $600 to not work, to be unemployed on top of the other unemployment that the states have, how about we replace that? Would you support replacing that with a compensation increase, like a bonus to get back to work, a back to work bonus?
Yes, thank you, Congressman, for the question. That would be a much better policy than extending the $600 supplemental benefit. It is one of the many ways to help workers, help families, while encouraging work and not discouraging work, and also stimulating the economy at the same time.
Right, and the businesses that, one of the ways around it, I noticed one of my local businesses that does utilities, like refrigerators and stoves and things, they actually found a way not to let anybody go when the coronavirus and the shutdown started, because they were afraid if they let them go, they'd take the unemployment and the plus up, and they'd have a hard time ever getting them back. So that was one way some businesses dealt with it, but most businesses didn't have a choice. They had to lay off because of the government shutdown. So I would tell you it's a serious concern. We're talking about a bill that's already passed, which is the first time we've ever had a hearing on a bill that passed a couple months ago. This is not the way to conduct business. And there's a lot of talk about what might come from the Senate, but we're the House of Representatives. We do House bills here. So we're talking about, ways to, we could be talking about ways to do the payroll tax deductions, some tax relief. Deregulation in this committee would be a better approach. So I was encouraged to hear you say, Dr. Davis, that new businesses have been forming, and I've noticed just historically when there seems to be economic challenges, entrepreneurial men and women of every race and ethnicity start their own business, because if you unleash the free market and get the regulations out of the way, folks find ways to take care of themselves. Do you want to talk? Can you talk a little bit more about the new businesses that are forming and how that's been going, Dr. Davis?
Yes, two things there. Let's relate the new businesses to the unemployment insurance supplement. New businesses are hiring workers into new jobs. It's not going back to an old job. So it's not this. So they really do have to pay wages that are more attractive than the extra unemployment benefits that people get by not working. So that's kind of the first point. The second point, it is quite hopeful. And so this is a new Census Bureau statistical product that's only come out this year. Basically what it tracks is new applications through the IRS for employer identification numbers. Those numbers are running higher in the last 3 weeks than they did any time earlier this year, and any time than they did a year ago. So we want those businesses. And these are businesses that, in the Census Bureau's judgment, have a high propensity to hire employees in the near future. We want that to happen, and we have to take appropriate policy steps to encourage that to happen, and to happen in a big way.
Okay, well, thank you for that response. In my remaining 20 seconds, I just want to express regret that I couldn't meet in person Robert Reich. Not so much to talk politics, but we went to the same college, Dartmouth College, and I've read about you in a lot of the alumni magazines. Would have been nice to have shaken your hand and met with you in person. It's one of the nice things about having in-person meetings. You can actually talk to people. I hope we can get back to work in that regard as soon as possible. I yield back the balance of my time.
Well, I love